Well, it's been 2 months since WOW Air out of Iceland's been operating out of LAX, and it's clearly a no-frills airline. In fact, the baggage requirements, yes, that's some $60, $70 all the way booked through. They actually would let you take on larger carry-on, but God, it's almost exactly the same price. They charge for everything, including, get this, water. Here we are in Iceland's Keflavik Airport, and right over there is the smoking room. Well, we made it all the way on this WOW airline, operating now 2 months out of LAX via Iceland. And one of the annoying things, besides you had to pay for everything, including breathing, was the fact that you'd wind up in buses at every single stop. I'm traveling for the first time in second class because normally with a global pass it's required for anybody over 25 years of age for the pass that covers all of Europe. However, I'm taking the Benelux German pass second class, and it's really very nice, with, of course, a lot more children. The strange new things is now we even have border pass controls in spite of the international agreements given the tragedies in almost every country in Europe. Here in Germany, this happens to be Mannheim, at major train stations. Invariably, you're going to find the associated inner city hotels. They are priced accordingly. With a little bit of planning, you can actually do a pretty good deal. They have a kind of a dear but very good breakfast that costs extra, as the case is usually throughout most of Germany, with the exception of the excruciatingly, really tolerably bad Novotel, which seems to have been designed by an accountant to be painful at every step. Even the breakfast was painful. In fact, I counted a dozen things that were inappropriate. But be that as it may, one of the things that these hotels do provide is a card good for local travel in what's called a Nahverkehr, the local transportation, S-Bahn, U-Bahn, regional trains. Each one has their own little logo, and that's included. So you don't have to buy that extra city pass as if you did buying a railroad pass or train ticket on German rail. Here on Ansbacher Strasse, in really the heart of West Berlin, a block north of Wittenberg U-Bahn, actually kind of just across the street from the Intercontinental, is the City Hotel Ansbach. Not to be confused with that thing over there, overpriced, lousy service, lousy breakfast. This thing is a little gem. Amazingly priced, excellent breakfast, excellent service, cash discounts, one of my faves. Probably cheaper than some of the ones you'd find in Southern Europe. Amazing deal. Along the Oderseite Vorkwartalkrakjes, that's the canal about 2 streets to the left and down from the Amsterdam main train station, we have here the Rijksdienst highly recommended hotel. One of the negotiating tips, not just in the Netherlands, but very appropriate for the Dutch, all throughout Europe, is you negotiate whether or not it's without breakfast. You can do it later in the morning, and many times they don't want to be bothered, and you'll get a cash discount, the hallway toilet. Hey, you'd be amazed how much you save. This is Antwerp, Antwerpen, Anvers, and I generally avoid hotels facing train stations. This is a good example. Yep. There used to be a great one right over there. They got a chain that bought them out, ruined the breakfast, hostile, sullen staff. We're going to go around the corner to the Kaiserling. You know, that's often been the case elsewhere. Avoid the one facing the train station in Montpellier. Likewise, God to know, Paris. Go down a little bit. Go to the Hotel Milan. Price to move. And a one in Napoli? Horrible. Go down around the corner. So here in Antwerp, Antwerpen, Anvers, the Kaiser, nice place, was fully booked. Don't go there. And went way all the way down past also the Kaiserling, that's closed. Found a place called the Columbus. Nice. Again, 3rd time now this far in Europe. Find that they mentioned that it could have got a better price with advanced booking online on their site. Not through a booking agent. You'll regret that. And wondered, it used to be the other way around, didn't it? With the Cologne train station right over there, I still like the rule of going to the 3rd hotel. And, sometimes I do stay there. They like cash discounts. and we're going to the Central where I made a reservation, and it always turns out to be, at least this year, better to have made a reservation cheaper than the so-called walk-up rack rate.
I'm back here a week later. I had a special online reservation with a bunch of discounts to begin with, and I asked to extend it from one Sunday to the Sunday next, and didn't get a confirmation, a bestätigung, if you will. And I asked about, oh yeah, we've got you confirmed a week later. And I kept pressing the point, and sure enough, instead of the discount price of $59, they charged me $90. But of course, I made sure that was fixed. And in typical German fashion, it was your fault because they have to make a change. By the way, that's not the first and only time that's occurred. It's occurred in Italy. It's occurred in Belgium. So one of those things you got to keep track of.
In the Netherlands, to enter train stations and to exit, you need that little barcode, which you can get on your rail pass. And I got one also on this ticket, which I had to pay a higher Spar price, 59 instead of, say, 29. By the way, that code symbol does not work on these machines.
Taking the S-Bahn to the airport here in Frankfurt on Main, that'd be about 4 stops. Cost you €570. I'm taking the inner city non-stop, a lot more comfortable, €7, but that's with an advance purchase Spar price. Notice that's only for the inner city, not the inner city express.
I'm checking in here at WOW Airlines, and you can see the baggage restriction size down there as to why you're forced to check in your bags. I did check in my bags, and of course my camera was stolen. Well, the price was $700, but of course that just neglects the fact that the check-in bag fee all the way through is $150. Now, the offset is this kind of an airline. You don't get frequent flyer miles, which in the old days would be about a quarter or a fifth of the price, and nowadays it's about a 12th. It's not really worth the bother. By the way, this airline does not even issue an electronic ticket, let alone a paper ticket. And so that would make David Greenberg, the so-called Boychik traveler, just go ballistic. When you add it all up, by the way, the seats, the pitch was such that it wasn't as bad as, say, American or, say, Continental. In fact, it probably wasn't worth the extra $40 to assign seats. But then on the other hand, British Air does assign there.
As always, as we're traveling here on WOW Airlines, that's Mom Upside Down, if you will, we're again taking another damn bus. And the last time I did this in Keflavik, we wound up in the rain, standing in the rain for about 30 minutes, which means I got my seat wet. And of course, they wouldn't give me a blanket. The blanket cost €18, and I sat on a wet towel the remainder of the trip. And this is what I was talking about. This time we're in the sunny, so I get sweaty. Another reason to get wet. Last time is pouring rain.
I'm taking the parking lot C bus to transfer to the Big Blue Bus number 3. It saves you about $20 on the damn taxi rides, and they don't like to take you if you live close by, like I do.